Hey, what's up YouTube? This is a video response this morning to Urban Combat Survivalist. I might have that wrong, but it's something like that. Talking about firewood this morning, and he was responding to Vermont hillbilly, who is a professional logger, and we were just discussing the complexities and realities of cutting your own firewood. And I just wanted to give you all a quick shot of what I'm working on right now. Now this is a baby pile. These guys are about 4 foot lengths or so. Got to cut them in half and split them all up. This is a pile of softwood, which isn't really good for burning, but it does burn. And it was a gift here from this guy. This tree that rotted out and fell down, and I gotta take the rest of it down. It's 3 trunks together. But like I said, the softwood doesn't really burn very well. Hard to start a fire with it. I mean, if it's super dried out, then it's okay, but then it tends to burn out really quick. But anyways, no point wasting it. And then I got this stack here. This is a bunch of slab wood, and if y'all remember, I've been using it to build various things and raise bedsides and whatnot. And some of it I'll keep over for the spring, and the rest of it I'm going to cut up and burn it up. This stuff burns really good. Crap. Really well seasoned. So that's it. Just thought I'd give you a look. This is probably about, maybe I'd say a quart and a quarter, maybe a quart and a half, everything that I got here. Here's my kindling pile. See if I can, at the doghouse back there. And this was all just crap that blew down during our harsh winter last winter. Now I don't actually rely on the branches for the majority of my kindling. It might look like it by this pile, but I use a lot of scrap 2x4, dried 2x4, and that kind of stuff, which burns really well. And for folks, if you have if you have a nice wood stove and you value the upkeep of it and whatnot, you want to try and stay away from the branches, because you're going to build up more creosote using that stuff rather than some of the cut lumber, or even pieces off the aged logs. This railing's a little under 4 feet, so I stacked this up to a little bit over the top, and this stretch right here, you can see that I got a ways to go. That's 16 feet. So basically, what I do is on this deck, because I don't super load it up, is I put about a cord 2 feet deep, 16 feet out, just one line. This is some softwood. I just stacked the softwood in the back here. Like I said, I don't really rely on that 100%. This is just a small beginning of a stack of some less seasoned wood, so I'll go to that last. And this is another stack, and this is closest to the front door. And I'm using keeping some logs not split, and that's what I'll toss on the fire right before I go to sleep at night, because the logs will burn a little longer. And oh, here's another pile. just close to the house. So I split some of that up by hand, and that's why that's there. Alright, so one thing that these guys were talking about was the necessity to have the hand tools. The hand axes and the hand saws, the splitting mauls and all this jazz. You know, of course, totally true, you totally need it. Personally, I put my faith a little more in the chainsaws and the gas or the electric splitters. At least for the gas, maybe not the electric splitter, but you can store up a chainsaw. It doesn't take that much gas. Obviously, the capacity of it's not that high, and if you store up 10 gallons of gasoline with your stabilizer in it, which is just going to store for a year or so, that's going to let you cut up a lot of wood. And I mean, granted, in a Mad Max scenario where you can't get any gas at all, it's going to run out. It's going to run out fairly quick, and you're going to be stuck. But I mean, for all other intents and purposes, you're going to be able to get your hand on a couple gallons of gas and get your chainsaw going. But yeah, you absolutely definitely have to have the hand tools. Although, as I mentioned on Vermont Hillbilly's site, if you have any kind of back problems, I mean anything at all, if you're getting up there in ages, you're not going to be able to handle splitting up a few cords of wood. I won't even talk about trying to fell trees with hand saws. I mean, forget it. The amount of work involved in that is insane. But if you're in good shape and you're healthy and you're young, you can do it, but you're going to be spending most of your waking time doing it. Anyway, the thing I wanted to point out here is I'm going to try and do this with holding the camera with my left hand. You want to get yourself one of these. These things are priceless. This is a small 4-pound hand splitting wedge, and use this for cutting kindling out of your split pieces. Again, I'm doing this one-handed, so it's normally you'd be holding the wood. Let's see what I can do here. It cuts this stuff like butter. And if I had two hands, I wouldn't have to be jamming it down each time, but I think you get the idea. Last winter, couldn't find these for shit. Nowhere. Mom and pop stores, garage sales. The only place last winter that I found them online was some German place that was selling them for 80 bucks a pop. Some handcrafted German crap, which I'm sure they were great, but 80 bucks, This one I actually got in Home Depot this time around, and invaluable. Absolutely invaluable. You try to do that same thing with a regular axe. In fact, hang on a sec. What happens when you try this to get that kindling off? Too light. I'll try it again. You can see what it just did. Regards greenwood, by the way. Greenwood doesn't burn for shit. If you got a roaring fire going, you could throw it in there, and it might burn. And I emphasize it might, because a lot of times you throw a piece of green split wood or a green log on your fire, and it's just gonna go out. So don't think that you can just go cut down a tree or something like that and cook it up. That's not gonna happen. And not to mention that, of course, it's bad for your wood stove. But whatever, that's not the point. It's just green wood. You'd be amazed at how hard it is for it to burn. Later, YouTube.